Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. If you can hear me, can you please drop a yes on the chat box? All right, okay. Thank you. So my name is Esotu Chimaoge. I'm a data scientist at Data Science Nigeria. For today's bootcamp session, I'll be taking, or in fact, we will be, because this class is going to be fully interactive. So this one is not just a PowerPoint presentation class. It's going to be an interactive class. So it's a discussion class. It's going to be fun. I want you people to be engaging me while I engage you in this class. We are going to learn everything about Microsoft PowerBI. So yeah, so that is it, what we're going to do in today's class. So we are going to learn and we are going to work together. It's going to be an interactive class. So I expect everybody to participate actively. All right. Okay, so welcome to DSN AI Bootcamp, Microsoft Power BI session. So right now, I'm going to just put you through what we will be covering in this class. So
Hi everyone. Please just give our lecturer some minutes to reset our system. Thank you.
hello, sorry guys, I just have a small network hitch right now. Please, if you can hear me, drop a yes, please. Okay, yeah, thank you, all right. So I was saying that when you hear of Power BI, some people, the first thing that comes to your mind is, Power BI desktop. So, but Power BI is a full package that just is beyond Power BI desktop alone. So in today's class, we are going to first of all start with Power BI and its core uses. Then we'll be looking at Power BI elements, that's different packages that are available within Power BI. Then we'll look at data transformation. Under data transformation, we'll be talking about Power BI query editor. We're talking about pre-processing and editing queries. So when I say queries in this class, please don't misunderstand me. I'm talking about tables. Anytime you hear me say queries, editing queries, I'm talking about editing tables. But I'm trying to use Power BI terms here because Power BI refers tables as queries. Now will be how to shape, combine data. That's how do you merge data? How do you append data in Power BI? Then we'll also look at data modeling, which is even the main core of visualization. Before you be able to do any visualization, you should be able to get your model right. You should be able to get a good model, as in good link of different data tables you are working with. If you're not able to accomplish that, you are going to have problem visualizing your data. And so in order to address that, we'll be looking at data modeling. The fourth is data modeling. How do we model our data in Power BI? And then We now look at visualization, which is the core thing. You know, how do you visualize your data to bring it to light? What are DAX queries? What are they used for? And reports, what happens in reports view in Power BI. All right. Okay, now let's see what is even a Power BI. You know, Wikipedia will tell you that Power BI is a business analytics solution that lets you visualize your data and share insights across your organization, connect to hundreds of data sources, and bring your data to life with live dashboards and reports. But just to cut the long story short, let's leave that long grammar. So Power BI is just a business intelligence tool that allows you to pre-process your data, analyze and visualize your data. So you see these 3 points. You'll be able to pre-process your data. You'll be able to analyze your data, and you can visualize your data. Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please type a yes. Please, if you can hear me, can you drop a yes? Yes, I want to see as many yeses as possible. Let me know whether I can change. Okay, the network is breaking. Okay. Okay, network, all right. Okay, can you hear me clearly now? I just had to shift my position a bit to see if I can get a very clear coverage. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so maybe I'm going to, let me go back. Yes, let me go back because of the network breakage. Let me go back. So I, first of all, put us through what we'll be learning in this session. So I said we'll be looking at what Power BI and core uses of Power BI. Then we'll look at Power BI elements. So when I talk about Power BI elements, there are so many packages that make up Power BI. So when you hear Power BI is not just about Power BI desktop. When you hear about Power BI, there are so many packages that make up Power BI, which we will see as we go further in this class. Then we're going to talk about data transformation. So data transformation encompasses editing your data, pre-processing your data. And in that course, we are going to see Power BI Query Editor. Then we are going to look at shaping and combining data. That is, how do I merge my data? How do I append data if I have need to append tables together? How do I append those tables? If I have need that I have so many tables and I need to merge those tables together in order to come up with an insight from those tables, how do I do that? We'll be looking at that. Now, we talk about data modeling. So data modeling is very important. You know, as a data scientist, as a data analyst that is going to be visualizing data, you need to get your data model right. Because, you know, your data model helps you to, in cases where you have different tables and you need to link up those tables together. You don't want to combine those tables together. So you need to link them up in order to, from one table, you can get information from another table. And that is what data model is, and relationship. So how do we model our data in Power BI? So we'll also be looking at visualization, which is the main thing. You know, visualization helps to relay information very fast. No long grammar, no long writing. You just visualize it and it comes to light. So in that aspect, we'll be looking at DAX queries. What are DAX queries? We'll understand what DAX queries are. And we'll also see visuals in reports view. What are they used for? Okay, so that takes me to what is Power BI? So Power BI is according to Wikipedia, Power BI is a business analytics solution that lets you visualize your data and share insights across your organization, connect to hundreds of data sources, and bring your data to life with dashboards and reports. But in my own terms, just to cut the long story short, Power BI is a business intelligence tool that allows you to pre-process, analyze, and visualize your data. That is all Power BI is all about. So that is what Power BI is all about. Now, so there are 3 core applications of Power BI. I mean, when you talk of Power BI, this is the 3 core thing. Power BI, whether it's Power BI desktop, whether it's Power BI service, whether it's Power BI mobile, as far as Power BI is concerned, so their main purpose is data preparation and analysis. The second one is visualization. And then the third one, very important, collaboration and sharing. So you work in an organization, you work with a team of people, and you who are working on a visualization project, or you're working on analytics project, and you need to, collaborate with one another. So Power BI have that services which will enable us accomplish such. So the 3 core applications of Power BI are data preparation and analysis, visualization, collaboration, and sharing. All right? Okay. So don't worry, we'll soon move to the fun part of the course. We'll soon go straight to Power BI, open Power BI, and see what happens in Power BI. But before then, now let's look at Power BI elements. So when I mean by Power BI elements, I mean what are the packages? What are the different packages that exist within Power BI? Of course, we know the Power BI desktop, which is the very popular one. So in Power BI desktop, which runs only on Windows. Yes, so Power BI runs only on Windows. For now, it's a Microsoft package, and Microsoft is the owner of Windows. So Power BI runs only on Windows. That means you can download it locally to your system, but it has to be a Windows system. It has to be a Windows operating system, a system that is running on Windows OS. So you can download Power BI desktop locally. So what can I do in my Power BI desktop? I can import data sets. I can work with different visuals. I can create reports. It encompasses all this, but just for this, I think this is the main things. You import your data sets, you clean up your data sets, and you come up with very nice visualization that relays the data that relays the insight which you're trying to come up with. Now, so apart from Power BI desktop, what is the next? So it's like a process. It's like a process because even after working in Power, so you can see from this slide, I made this a one-man thing. So when you are working with Power BI desktop, you are working locally on your computer. Nobody is seeing what you are doing. You are working, or you open your Power BI desktop, you import your data, you start working on your data, you save. After saving, when you close Power BI desktop, it's sitting locally on your computer. Now, that takes us to the next one. So I've now come up with this very beautiful visualization. I've come up with these very nice insights. I want people to see what I've done. That is where Power BI service comes in. So after working in Power BI desktop has a feature that enables you to publish your reports, right? A feature that enables you to publish whatever you have built on. So, and that is whatever you publish goes to Power BI service. So Power BI service is a cloud service, another package of Power BI, but this time around is a cloud service or sitting on the cloud. You can also, even in Power BI, I mean, you don't want to download anything to your desktop. You want to be working online. You can work straight on Power BI service, but you have to, first of all, get a Microsoft account, right? So you have to have a Microsoft Power BI account in order to work with Power BI service. So is a cloud. So instead of Power BI service, you can as well do what you can do in your Power BI desktop. But I think, sometimes, because when you're working on Power BI service, of course, you're working online, you're using data. So the best practice is, download the desktop to your computer, work on your desktop, publish it to the Power BI service. So in Power BI service, we have data sets. We can also create visuals the way we can create in desktop, and we can create reports. Then there are more we can now do in Power BI service, dashboards. You know, some people ask, what's the difference between reports and dashboards? So reports is when you have, you know, multiple pages. You have page one trying to report a particular data. You have another page reporting another data. You have another page reporting. They are called reports. Those pages, as in you have different reports based on the data you have. Now, I have this, I need to present to an executive. I need to present to an official, maybe in government. They told me, okay, generate an insight for Lagos State governor. The governor will not have time to sit down and be looking at my reports, one. And that is where the dashboard comes in. So you pick key values from your reports. You pick up key values from your reports and develop a dashboard, just a single page dashboard with that. Just every information the governor needs is on that dashboard. And so you can do this dashboard from the Power BI service, right? Even in Power BI desktop, you can have one page report, depending on the data you have. If I don't have much data, if I don't have much information to give, yeah, sure, one page can enter whatever I want to do. But when you have multiple things to report, definitely you have multiple pages or multiple reports. But then for sake of when you are reporting to an executive person who you know that they're always in a hurry to go somewhere, they might not have that time to sit down and be looking at your reports one after the other. So what do? Pick out your key points and put them in a dashboard, just one dashboard. Once you look at that dashboard with very nice visuals that is relaying what you're trying to explain, once you look at that dashboard, the person has all the information he or she needs. Okay, so in Power BI service too, we can do collaboration, which means you can, your people that are in the same team with you, or people that are sharing the same accounts with you, or your work colleagues can see what you have done from Power BI service. Once they log in, you can see what you've done. When you log in, you can see what they have done. You can work together, you can collaborate. The same thing happens with results sharing, right? So, and then the last one is Power BI Mobile. So Power BI Mobile is like a mobile app. If you go to Apple, if you go to Play Store, you can download Power BI Mobile. So Power BI Mobile is like a mobile app of Power BI. So this one, I called it everywhere access. So you carry it, you just view it on your phone. So there's another one I didn't put here. It's called Power BI Embedded. So it's like a Power BI new feature. It's called Power BI Embedded. So Power BI has built that one in such a way that I have websites. I have a website, and I want to embed my visuals on that website. That means I don't want my dashboard or my reports to just be sitting on Power BI Cloud. So I have a website somewhere, and I want my visuals to be embedded on my website. So you can develop those visuals in Power BI, and then with Power BI Embedded, you take your code, your embedded code, and then embed it into your HTML in your website, and voila, anybody can see your visuals is alive in your website. And so these are the core elements of Power BI. We have the Power BI desktop, which is the most popular, which you can download locally on your computer and work on. So you have Power BI service, which is a cloud online service. If you want to work online, Power BI service is your go-to. And then Power BI Mobile, that's for mobile app. And then the last one, Power BI Embedded, which enables you to embed your visuals in a website somewhere. Okay, now moving on. So let's start with, because our course today will focus morely or majorly on Power BI desktop, because I think that is anything you can do on desktop, you can do it online. So it's the desktop that is the master of everything. So now, before we open Power BI, so I don't know if you have heard of Power BI before, you have Power BI installed, please drop a yes for me. Let me see, I want to know how many people, maybe you know about Power BI, you have Power BI, you've used Power BI before, you have it installed. Can you drop? I'm looking at the chat box. Please be dropping. Yeah, okay. Yes, yes, I've used it. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, head of it. Okay. I don't have it installed. I have not. Okay. I don't know Jack. Yeah, no problem. You will know it today. Yes, just intro. No problem. It's a very, I don't have it installed. Fine. Okay. So you have it installed. You have used it. You don't know Jack. Fine. At the end of this class, you'll be a pro. Yes. At the end of this class, you'll be a pro. So it's a very fun tool to use, very, very fun tool to use, very, very enjoyable. All you have to do is when you install it, be doing, I call it test and quench. I click one, I see what it will do for me. Oh, okay, so if I click this, this is what will happen. Nice. I go to another thing, click another thing. All right, okay, so this one will help me format my data. Oh, cool. So that is what Power BI does. So when you open Power BI, so when you talk of Power BI desktop, there are two versions to Power BI desktop. You have the Power BI desktop itself, then you have the Power Query editor. So the first visuals here is the interface of Power BI desktop. So when you open Power BI now, this is what you're going to see. You just see this. This is the title bar. These are the ribbons. We'll look at all these together and see what they are used for. So this is the reports view, which is open by default. So this one is the data view. When we go to the practical class, we'll open the data view and see what happens there. So this is the relationship view. We'll see what happens here too. This is a filter pane. This is called the filter pane. There are so many other panes, which when we go to the practical class, we begin to open them one by one and see what they do. We have the visualization pane, and then we have the field pane. So these are the major parts of a Power BI desktop. Now, this one is Power Query Editor. So this is where the bulk of cleaning, the processing data, editing data, formatting data, all your cleaning you want to do to your data is done in Power Query Editor. It's a very nice tool. It helps you keep your data the way you want it to be before you actually load it to Power BI desktop to start. So here in Power Query Editor, their business is just to clean your data. Any visuals you are going to do is happening here. So all your visualizing, importing bar charts, pie charts, map, whatever kind of visual you want to do, you are going to do it in Power BI desktop. But for cleaning of data, you will do that in Power Query Editor. So this is what your Power Query Editor will look like. When we open, you will see. So these are your ribbons, you know. So this is a query pane. I told you if you hear query from my mouth, you hear queries pane, query that, query this. I'm talking about your data tables. The data tables you have imported into your Power BI. So this is the display pane because whatever table you are working on is going to be displayed for you here. So you'll be seeing what you are doing. And then the last one is the query setting pane. So this is a very important pane. And I'll tell you why it's very, very important because it can save your life. This pane can save you your life and save you from lots of trouble. Okay, so this is the Power BI desktop and this is the Power Query Editor. Right. Okay, all right, before we, I don't know why I didn't put it in this slide, but before we even go to the next thing, so for those that have not installed Power BI, it's very, very easy to install. You just go to your browser, type Power BI desktop. Yeah, so I can, let me see if I can, yeah. So sorry, let me, okay, I'm trying to, let me open my browser so we see how you can actually download Power BI. Okay. Sorry. Let's see. So I'm trying to, guys, I'm having, okay. Okay. So right now I'm sharing my browser, my Google browser. I hope that's what you are seeing. If that's what you are seeing, please drop a fire emoji, and be sure that I'm carrying. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right. So to download Power BI is very, 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 very easy. Very, very. Okay, so I saw a question why somebody said, why would, what was that question? Let me go back there. Why would you choose, did I see well? I think I've jumped it. Okay, so why would Power BI be chosen over Python, Pandas, and Matplotlib? Okay, so see, it depends on you, right? It depends on your preference. If you feel like you want to code it out, you want to write code, that's cool. You go to Python, you go to Pandas, you go and do your Pandas, go and do your Matplotlib. But Power BI is just for quick and easy, Now, somebody wants you to come up with a very fast report, very sharp dashboard right now. You go to Power BI and do your drag and drop. The time you have taken to, do your Python, which is not bad. I do that too. I work with Python too, which is not bad. So Power BI is very, very interactive, very, very interactive. And their visuals are very, very beautiful. And they have lots of visuals, which you are going to see. Really, even in Power BI, there is Power BI, you can even integrate Python and R into Power BI. So if you like, okay, I want to do this visualization with Python, you can still do it within Power BI environment. So you can still do it within Power BI environment. So it depends on preference, really. You feel like you want, because for you to do Python, Matplotlib, you are coding, you are writing code, right? So everybody does, it's not everybody. So, Microsoft or Power BI is Microsoft. If you were in Microsoft, the 12 o'clock Microsoft class, you will hear the facilitator. There are so many things coming out from Microsoft. They are just bringing out things to make things easier for people. This is just the way I'll answer this one, because why would I choose Python, Pandas over Power BI? Really, they are all the same, because it's the same. You are plotting the same bar chart, you are plotting the same pie chart, you are plotting the same thing, and they are all interactive. In Python, so Python is even static, unless you are using Plotly. Yes, to plot interactive graphs in Python. That means you'll be working with Plotly, because if you use normal Matplotlib, and you are using normal Seaborn, and you want interactive graph, it's not going to be interactive. So yeah, so that is number one point of Power BI over Python. Python does interactive, but you'll be working with a Python package called Plotly. Matplotlib cannot give you an interactive graph. So, and that is it. So Power BI is interactive, it's quick, it's easy to learn, it's easy to understand. Life is easier. Thank you. Okay. So to download Power BI, just type your Power BI desktop, just I have it here. So you go to their site. Okay, I'm looking at. Yeah, I think Power BI is cool. It's cool. It's very cool. Yes. Okay, so so when you open, I don't want to waste time trying to open this, but when you go to, I don't know, my network is a bit slow. I don't understand why, but we're going to work with that. So when you open Power BI desktop, you will see, it's just pretty easy. Once you go to the site, you see a download button for downloading, which you will click and it downloads. And once it downloads, open up and follow all the steps. It's very, very easy. It's like in 5 steps, 4 steps, you have Power BI downloaded on your system. So instead of, this is taking much time, so I'm going to close it up and go back to my Power BI. So it's already 3:41. Don't have time. So we get some things done. So right now I'm opening my Power BI. So please, if you have, you can see my Power BI, right? Okay, so this is Power BI Desktop. This is what Power BI Desktop is. Yeah, so this is Power BI Desktop. So this is our ribbon. This is our reports view. This is data view, because we've not imported any data, so you can't see anything here. But when we import data, you will see something here. This is relationship view, the same thing, because we don't have any data. There is nothing in the relationship view. So, but by default, this is Power BI. Just as I said, this is the filter pane, this is the visualization, and this is the field pane. So, and these are the, once you open Power BI, you can open yours, follow through the class through, and so that you can pick up. So, so these are the ribbons. What are these different ribbons? Let's just go through the ribbon quickly, one after the other. So this is the home ribbon. As you can see here, they are very, very self-explanatory. This is for paste. This is cut, copy, format. This is for getting data and Excel. So for get data, so what's get data used for? You want to use it to import data into Power BI, which we will do that in a bit. This one, Excel, true, is for get data too, but this will take you straight to Excel. So what's the difference between this and this? This one, if I click this one now, which is opening, you can see. So these are the different data sources you can connect to from Power BI. There are so many of them you can connect to from Power BI. If you go to database, it will filter it down to the databases, to Azure platforms. It will filter it down to, if you are using an Azure SQL database, you see, you can connect all of them. So these are different data sources. There are so many of them you can connect to. Literally so many. So this is for Excel, text, CSV, PDF, and so, right? So this one is for connecting to, but this one will take you straight to Excel. If I click on this now, you see, it's going to take me straight to my local computer to open an Excel file. So it takes you straight to Excel. Okay, so this one is for Power BI data set. You want to connect a Power BI data set. So this one is connecting to an SQL server. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to an SQL server. So if you are working on it, you want to connect to an SQL server, you can do it from here. So this one, enter data, what is it used for? For entering data manually. Yeah, so if I click now, you can see, I can enter data, I can put the columns that I want, I can put the number of rows that I equally want. So this is for entering data manually. So in case I imported data and I have more data to create myself, I can actually do it from here. So I'm not creating any data. So I'll close it, but just to show you what it does. So this is for recent sources. Now, recent sources, can you see? So these are the sources I have worked with in the past, all the sources I've connected to in the past. So if I want to connect back to any of them, I can actually go back to any of them, click on it, and it takes me back to my source. But before you can use this thing, make sure that that source you are connecting to is still in the same path it was. Maybe it was on my desktop when I connected to Power BI. And now I have moved it inside a document or inside the downloads folder. If I click to connect to that source, Power BI is not going to see it anymore because my path has changed. But then I'm going to show you how to go and set your path. If somehow the path where your source was when you connected to Power BI have changed. So you have to go back and tell Power BI, okay, I've changed my path and this is my new path. All right. So this is transform data. So transform data is going to take us to Power Query Editor, which we will look at very soon. And so this is for refresh, to refresh your reports and your pages. So this is for new visuals. So if I click on it now, you can see a visual pops up. So yeah, for inserting visuals, which you can also do from this visualization pane. Now, this is for adding text box. I want to work with a text box. This one is for more visuals. Now, what's different between new visuals and more visuals? New visuals are these base visuals that are already provided for you by Power BI. They are just here. They are the base one. Once you open Power BI, you see them. Now, more visuals are other visuals that are not here, but you can actually go and import them inside here. You can see from their app source. That means you can go to their source, their markets, and import those visuals. You can equally do it from here. When you click on these 3 ellipses here, this here, you can see get more visuals. So you can also, when you click here, it takes you to their market where you can import. There are so many of them. So actually this, just open your Power BI if you have it installed and be doing all these things. You see how it works. They are very, very amazing. Now, later we'll talk about new measures, quick measures, and then how to publish your reports after you have finished doing your data, you have finished preparing your report. Then how do I publish it? And this is what happens in the home. Now let's quickly go to insert. So insert, you can do a new page. You can see if I'm clicking, or you can even put new pages from here. You can see, or you can do it from here. You can blank page, whatever. So this one is also the new visuals and more visuals, just as we saw in the home. They do the same thing. So this one are for AI visuals. So you've done some, because recently Power BI incorporated machine learning into Power BI, even for sentiment analysis. That means you can now do sentiment analysis with Power BI. So when you do search and you want to visualize your analysis, so these are AI visuals that can do search for you. So these are basic text box, button. Buttons are very, very important in Power BI because buttons are works like menus. I click on this button, it takes me somewhere. I click on another button, it takes me somewhere. That is what Power BI button is used for. And then we have shapes, and then we have images. I want to use some shapes. If I click, you can see the rectangle, oval, and then the images. I can import image from my computer if I want to. Maybe I have a logo I want to have in my report. I can import that logo image here. The next one is modeling. So there are so many things you can do. We'll manage relationship. We'll look at this very soon. You can create new measures. You can quick measures. You can even create new column, new tables. So just quickly, let's just be moving so fast. Let's just be moving so fast so we can cover up a lot of things. And then the last but not the least is the view. So the view is where you manage what your page looks like. You can see now my filter is open here. If I want to remove it, I just click on this filter here and close this. This one opens my bookmark. This one opens selection. So this one is for performance analyzer. It will help you to analyze your performance of your reports that you have built. And this one is for syncing slicer. So I have a slicer in one particular report and I want it to slice across all my reports. I can actually sync the slicer from here. So quickly, let's go to transform data and go to Power Query Editor. Okay, so are you seeing my Power Query Editor? So somebody say, what does slicers do? So in a simple language, slicers are filters. Power BI calls them slicer, but they are just filter. So for example, I have year. I have a year, a column that is called year, and I make it a filter in such a way that if I click on 2010, it filters my data based on 2010. If I click on 2013, it filters my data based on 2013. So they are just filters. Power BI calls it slicer. I hope I'm able to answer your question. So now this is Power Query Editor. So this is Power Query Editor. So these are the features you will see in Power Query Editor. These are the query panes. So when we import our data now, you see that our data tables are going to be listed down here. You don't have to waste time. I'm going to go and import data. So maybe I should drop I wanted to drop the data I'll be using for this class so that those that want to join, can join. But please, I said, can you see my Power Query editor? If you're seeing my Power Query editor, please, can you drop a yes? Okay, thank you. Let's move on. So yeah, so I'm just going to use a very basic table, a very basic Excel file to illustrate how to clean up your data in Power Query editor. So in order to get my file, to go to my Excel file, I get to new source. I click on this new source down here. You can see Excel. So if I click on more, I will see more data files I can actually connect to. I will see more data files I can connect, just as we saw it in Power BI Desktop. It's just the same thing. Just that in Power BI Desktop calls it get data. Power BI Query Editor calls it new source. So if I go to my new source, okay. Yeah, I go to Excel and I connect. So now it takes me to my desktop. So let me find my data, which is Power BI Virtual Class. That is what I called my data. I open up that data. You can see it's connecting. The same way, you can even connect to a website from Power BI. So these are all the tables I have in that Excel workbook right now. So any source you are connecting to Power BI is going to, if there are 100 tables inside that data, Power BI will display the 100 tables there for you. If there are 1 million tables, Power BI will display that 1 million tables. It's not left for you to choose the ones you want to work with, right? So I'm going to click all. Let's look at all our data. I'm going to click all, and then okay, yeah, okay. So it's loading up our tables. Okay, now you can see our queries pane. That's our table pane. You can see now we have our table listed down here. So at this moment, it's opening this particular sheet 1 for me. Okay, so and this is our query setting pane. So I will explain to you why I said that this query setting pane is very, very important. But before then, so let's just use this data and be going through this our ribbons one after the other. Now, close and apply. What does close and apply do? After I finish cleaning up my data, and then I want to load it to Power BI Desktop to actually go and do my visualization. That is where close and apply comes in. So I'm done cleaning. I can now close and apply. So we have new source, which was used to import this data. We have the recent sources, which helps you to go back to your sources. We have the enter data. We have the data source. And so now, let's just, okay, this one is manage parameters, just the way you, so parameters are just variables, the way you create variables in Python and to work with variables. Parameters are variables in Power BI. So this one is for refreshing your page. This one takes you to property. So you can actually give description to your table from here so that if you're handing your data over to someone, the person can equally read the description. So this one is advanced editor. Advanced editor is the background code that is working. So when you are doing drag and drop, there's a background code that is working, and that is shown in this advanced editor. So if you want to see the code that is working, you open your advanced editor. So this one is to manage. So from here, I can delete my table. I can duplicate my table. I can choose a column. If I say choose column, yeah. So which column do I want to choose? I want to choose my state column. Okay. You see, so so where is it? Okay. All right. So with what happened now, let me explain what happens here. So any step you are taking on your data, any editing you're doing on the data, that step is being reflected down here. So you can see now, I removed the column. I actually removed the state column. Now it has told me that I've removed this column. And now probably I removed this column by mistake. So what do I do in order to have that operation I do? So I want to reverse that operation. Just come here and cancel it. You can see I have my state column back. So this place is very, very important when you make a mistake, because you can mistakenly delete something you don't want to delete. Just come to this apply step and look for that step and just cancel it. It will revert that change. So now you can get to remove your columns. This one is for rows, keeping rows and removing rows. So in this removing rows, the remove top row is very explanatory. Remove bottom row is very just, you click, you specify the number of row you want to remove. I want to remove first 1 row, or I want to remove the first 3 rows. You specify and you click OK, and then it removes them. If it's the bottom row you want to remove, the same thing. But where I'm going to make emphasis is in alternate rows, because this alternate row can mess you up. So what I mean by alternate row, it removes rows alternatively. So please, you can only use this alternate row. Example, I'm going to use this. So you can only use alternate row if there's a pattern to your data. You've noticed a particular pattern, and then you don't need that pattern. You want to remove that pattern. That is where alternate rows comes in, because it's going to remove rows alternatively, depending on what you tell it to remove. For example, let me look for one. Let me look for one simple table here. Let me open this one. Now I have this table. I now want to remove row 2 and 3 or so. Yeah. So, and I want to remove only row 2 and 3, or only row 2 and 3. And then I use alternate row. I bet you it's going to remove 2, 3, 5, 6. I mean, it's going to remove until it doesn't meet that pattern you specify. So let me show you an example, because I've really encountered this. So to remove alternate row, if I click on it now, I say, okay, first row to remove row 2. That should be my first row. This is your row 2, number 2. Number of rows to remove, 2, because I want to remove 2 and 3. Now, number of rows to keep, said 1. So now, the pattern you have given Power BI is start with row 2, remove row 2, remove 2 rows. That means remove row 2. It's going to remove row 2 and 3. Then number of rows to keep, it will keep 4. It will keep 4. Then it will remove 5. Okay, it will keep 4. Then remove 5 and 6, keep 7. Remove 8 and 9, keep 10. So, I mean, so that's why alternate, if I say, okay now, can you see what happened? Our data has massively shrinked. Maybe in your mind, you want to remove only 2 rows, and then you use alternate row. It's going to wipe away your data. So anytime I'm teaching my class, I always tell them, please don't use alternate row unless you know that whatever you want to remove has certain pattern, and that pattern is consistent throughout your data. If it's not, please don't use it. So I can go back and reverse my step and have my data back. So this one is for sorting data, to sort your data. That is explanatory. This one is for splitting columns. So you want to split your column into 2. You want to, so you click, so split by a delimiter. So which delimiter? You can maybe this one and say, okay. You can see now that my date column, it has splitted it, because my date column has a slash delimiter. It has splitted that column. So I can change it back so I can have my data back. Yeah. So this one is for group by. So the way you group things, this is used for group by. This one is your data type. Okay, so this one is for data analytics. So text analytics, you want to do your sentiment analysis. You have data that has text, and you want to conduct sentiment analysis on those data. That is where text analysis comes in. This one is for computer vision. So this is a new package that Power BI or Microsoft put into Power BI. You can see Azure Machine Learning. Okay. So you can see Azure Machine Learning here. So you can see vision. This is for computer vision. And this one is for conducting your sentiment analysis. So I mean, I have a text, and it's very, very easy to use. So when you go home, look for, just import any text data, try this out. So it's going to give scores to your text. It's going to assign scores to your text, just like what Veda does, what, what's it called again? What's this? So yeah, so this is Orange, yes, Orange 3, just like what Orange 3 does. So that's Power BI has brought that in already. So now transform, what happens in transform? So if we open transform, so easy, you group by, use as first row. So use as first row. For example, let's say I have this now. So use as first row is very, very easy to use. Maybe I want to use my first row as my header. So if I click on use as first row, use first row as header, you see, it's going to take my first row and make it my header. This one is for transposing data for reverse. So this, in order for time, this transform ribbon is very, very explanatory. This one is for statistical analysis. You want to do your sum, your maximum, your minimum. You do it from here, actually. Okay, so yeah, let me talk about this add column. So add column is you want to add an extra column to your data. So you want to do extra column to your data analysis. You can actually add it from here. So there are so many ways you can add columns. You can add from example. You can add custom column. If you have a custom column somewhere, that means you can add it or even create a custom column here. You can invoke a custom column from somewhere. So even you can add conditional column. You can do index column. So let's just do one. So maybe say custom column now. I want to create a custom column. What do I want to call it? Let me call it addition. Now, what is my custom column going to be? So I want it to be column 3. This column 3, for example, I click on column 3, yeah, plus I want column 3 and male column, right? I want it to be a summation of column 3 and male column. Okay, I called it addition. All right, you can see that column is created for me. That addition column is already created for me and it's here. So there are so many things you can do. You know, you want to add more, you have to do to add more analysis to your data. So you can even do conditional column based on something. You know, you can build an index column. So that's so easy. So these ones too, the same thing we saw in transform, right? We are seeing it here in add column. Just the difference between when you are doing statistics or standard or scientific calculations from transform ribbon and when you are doing it from add column ribbon. The difference is that when you are doing it from add column ribbon, right? If I'm doing a transformation, I'm in transform ribbon now, and I want to do an operation on this male column. The result is going to affect on this particular column. That means I will not have anything as male anymore. I will not have anything as male column anymore because that my change is going to affect on this column. But when I'm doing it from add column, so it's going to create a new column. For example, now I say I went to this male column. Okay, for example, let's go to transform male column. Let's go to statistics. I want to do sum. Oh, sorry. Okay, this one summed up. That's not what it will sum up. This one summed up the column for me. Okay, so example, this male column. Let's look for another thing to do. Okay, standard. Okay, I want to add. Yes. What am I going to add to? I want to add 2 to all the values in that column. Okay. You can see it added 2. This one was 200. Now it's 202. This is 50. Now it's 52. In that the same male column, right? Now let's go back and go and do it from add column ribbon. So in that the same, still in the male column, I go to standard. I want to add 2. I say, okay. You can see what it does. It created a new column different from that male. So in that case, I still have my male column and I still have my new column. So normally it's advised, in order not to lose data you don't want to lose, when you're adding new columns, do them from add column ribbon. That is why it's called add column ribbon, because it's going to create a new column for you. So, and that is it. So view here is, view gives you what is used to, display what you want to. If I can remove my query settings. If I click here now, my query settings is out. I can add it back. I can uncheck my formula bar, have it back. So this one, monospace, you can see it will change the font of your letter. This one. So column quality, yeah. So this column quality, I use this place to just, maybe after cleaning my data, I want to make sure that I don't have any error remaining somewhere. So you can come here and check. You can see it will tell you that this is 100%. 0% error, 0% empty, means you don't have any error, you don't even have any empty value, right? I can even see my column distribution. You can see to tell you have 13 distinct values and 8 unique values. So it's actually conducting an exploratory data analysis for you, it's exploring that data for you. I can even see my column profile. So you can see now, it's going to tell you, okay, you have 20 rows. This is distinct is 18, unique is 16, maximum value, minimum value, the standard deviation. And so this viewpoint gives you exploratory data analysis of your data. So in one view, you see, okay, this is my distribution, this is my mean, this is my standard deviation. And so that is what it does, right? So this one is also advanced editor, as we've seen before, is the background code that is working. So, and then this one is for query dependencies. When you open it now, you will see, you can see now, it's telling me that all my tables were imported from my system. If I create another table from another table now, it will come under that table and create another one. You know, if I create another one, so it just shows you your dependence, how your data moves, your data. So, and that is it for query editor. So, right? So, okay, let's now talk about quick one, how to merge and combine data. Let's talk about quick one, how to merge and combine data. Okay, I'm going to view and remove all this so that we can, yeah. So let's talk about merging and combining data. So it's easy, you can see here, you merge query or you append queries. Now, so there are two rules to this. It depends on appending. If you're appending, so appending is joining two datas vertically. So you are joining two datas vertically, one upon the other, while merge is joining data horizontally. So append is joining data vertically and merge is joining data horizontally. So when you are merging two data, there must be a column that is unique among them. There must be a column that, in fact, even appending, there must, okay. So one basic rule, one important rule about, let's talk about append first. One important rule about append is when you're appending two tables, their header must be the same, must in capital letter. The headers must be the same. So that means if I'm appending these two tables, example, these two tables, I have data, revenue, unit cost. This one, I have data, unit sold, unit price. And I'm trying to append these two tables. If I append them when their column names are different, it's going to give me scattered data. So for example, let's just do this quickly. So let me append these two tables. Let's see now what is going to happen. So if I go to append, always append as new so that you still have your old table. So this is my first table. Which second table am I going to append it with? The unit one. Okay. You can see what I have. I have null. I have nulls. I have nulls. I have nulls. That's because they are not having the same, PowerBI is seeing them as different columns, right? PowerBI is seeing them as different column names. They have different column names. So yeah. So, and this is that new table. So for me to append two tables, it means that if this one is date here, the other one will be date here. If this one is revenue here, the other one will be revenue here. If this one is unit cost here, the other table should be unit cost. Equal number of columns with the same names. But in merging, oh no, it doesn't really apply in merging. So in merging, what you need is you need to have one particular column that is unique. For example, this population data, they have a column called location. This one too have a column called location. So if I merge these two data right now, it's going to use this location column. I can even specify if I want to merge these two. Now let me just merge. Let's merge and see quickly, see what will come out. So merge queries. So yeah. So this is my first table. Which other table am I? I'm merging with this one. Then pick the column that you want it to merge it with. I pick this column, you see? Yeah, you can see. I said merge it with column 2. That's location. I click OK. So this is a very, you can see now. So it has merged it. So don't mind this table here. So when you click on this small icon here, it's going to expand the whole thing. Okay, you can see it has merged them. You can see now I have more. Instead of having two different tables, I've merged them into one based on location here. But when it's appending, it doesn't work like that. Appending, you have to have the same number of columns. If I have 3 columns, I should have 3 columns with carrying the same name. And that's what happens in merge and append, right? Okay. So I'm going to go back. So right now, let's see our time. Okay, so, and that is what happens in Power Query Editor. So you clean your data, you do everything you want to do in Power Query Editor, all right? So there are so many other things you can do. You can change your data type, you know, you can change data type and see, okay, so this one should be a whole number, you know, so you can change your data type and everything. So, but before we even do that, you can see that this first row 1, you need to put first row as header. Okay, yeah, okay. Use first row as header, right? Then you can see now we've done that, and even Power BI is smart enough to detect the data type of the data. Yeah, Power BI will even detect the data type for you, unless if there is something wrong. Especially, you see this one now. You can see that this one, something is wrong with this age group, because you can see dates and then you can see number. So what do? Let's change this to text. And then we need to change this. How do we change this? You can see that this is a date interval. So which means 0 to 4. The next one should be about 5 to 9. The next one should be 10 to 14. So what do? Replace the value. Replace values. So replace it with 5 to 9. Okay. And it's going to replace across all your data. This one, replace it with 10 to 14. Before you replace any data, it has to be text. It has to be a text. You can say I had to change the data type to text first before replacing anything. If not, it will not replace. It will keep throwing an error. So now that I've finished replacing it, you can see my data. Another way to check if you have a null value somewhere, just click down here. You will see all the data. You know, I can load more to make everything show up. I cannot look for NA, okay? Which means I don't have any NA. You can type null. I don't have any null, which means there is no empty or null value in your data. That's another way to know if you have null somewhere. All right. So what will happen now? Let's go and load this data. So we are going to just load. We are going to disable. So if any table here, you've not cleaned that data, so you don't want to load that data. Actually, you can disable it here. This enable load. You know, click it, uncheck it. You know, so this one. Okay, so now see this particular, the second population data. Okay, so when you have this kind of problem, that's why I talked about alternate row. You can see now this is NA, 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 which means these rows need to go, because it doesn't make sense me having NAs in all my rows. So I need to let them go, you know. And the only way, because I cannot remove first row. This is not my first row. I cannot remove bottom row. This is not my bottom row. And I cannot do alternate row too, because this thing is only happening in these 4 columns or 4 rows. Sorry, this is happening in these only 4 rows. So what do I do if I have this kind of data? You know what you would do? You know, just you know, let's say, let me use this age group. Let me use this age group. You know, change it to a text. Right? After changing it to a text, sort it in descending order, because you will see what will happen now. Yeah, those NAs has come up because now this is text. You know, when you're writing numbers, the alphabet will be recognized before the numbers, right? The alphabet will be recognized before the number. So I'm sorting descending. So he's seeing the alphabet before he's seeing the number. In this way, because my NAs are now up, I can now go and remove first rows, remove top rows. How many rows do I want to remove? 4. Okay. So that is removing them. So it's about strategy. When you are cleaning your data, you look for strategy that actually works for you. There are so many ways you can do it in Power BI. So somebody might go now, somebody could have done alternate row here. and then lose all your data. So, but since it's just happening in those first row, if you do alternate row, you lose your data. Okay, so, and that is it. I'm going to regroup this. I'm going to regroup this. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, okay. Yeah. So let's just go and load. Let's just go and load the data. I'm just going to, I'm going to disable these ones. I don't want to load them. So I will now come here. I will now close and apply. So my data now, I'm sending my data straight to Power BI desktop to start doing visualization. So to start doing my visualization, so it's loading up my data right now. You can see it's detecting loaded, right? Okay, let's wait for it to come. Right, so this is my two tables here. So let's see. Now, this is our reports pane, as I've said. This is our data. You can see, and I told you that when we load data, if you now click here, you'll be able to see the data you have loaded with all the columns that comes with that data. Now, this is for relationship. You can see now. So in Power BI, there are different, there are like 4 types of relationship that can be detected in Power BI. You can have one-to-many. So okay, you can have one-to-many. You can have many-to-many. You can have many-to-one, and you can have one-to-one. So let me share my PowerPoint. Let me stop and explain to you, because you need to understand this, because sometimes it can be very, very trouble when you are working with it. So, okay, let me pick one. I'm going to be very fast about it. I'm going to be very fast, very, very fast about it. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So now this is relationship. So if you're seeing my screen, please type yes. Yeah, somebody said that's mapping in mathematics. Yes, okay. So I want to explain relationship because it can be very, very important, and we'll see how it applies in this our Power BI now. So now this is one-to-one. You can see if it's in Power BI, you will, when you detect relationship and you see something to this one-to-one, it means it's one-to-one relationship. That means I have one-to-one. That means I have 2006. Everything is 1-1. You can see in your table, this is 2006, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's the same thing here. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This one is one-to-many. You can see, you will see it's one-to-many. You will see this symbol, one-to-many. So which means I have one data point connecting to many. You can see I have 20, 16, 17, 18, 19, coming up 1-1 here. But here it is double, 16, 16, 17. So this one is many-to-many. So many-to-many will come up like this, many-to-many. The last one is, okay, I have one-to-many, one-to-one. Okay, many-to-one, yes. It's just inverse of this. So, but here, these are the 3 core ones. So many-to-many. You can see the same thing. I have double, 2016 double here, 2016 double here, 2017 double here, 2017 double here. And when you, okay, so that is what I want to explain. I'm going to go back to Power BI. I'll stop sharing and go back to Power BI right now. So, because when your data is many-to-many, when your data is many-to-many, Power BI will not detect it because Power BI does not support many-to-many. Even in analytics, many-to-many is not good. It can mess up your data when you start visualizing. You can see now, let's say now we want to map we want to map location to location. You can even you can make this relationship yourself. Power BI can dictate. Assuming we have more tables right here, you see that Power BI is going to dictate those relationships. But because we have 2 tables, which are many to many. Because if you come to this table, population is many. You come to this particular table, population is many. So everything is age group is many. This one, I mean, they all have duplicates in their tables. So Power BI do not detect them. You can even mark them yourself. Just carry the location in this one, go and drop it on top of the location in the other one. You can see how I carried it, right? So Power BI will tell you that this is a many to many. Do you want to continue? Okay, yeah, I want to continue. I don't care, right? You can see Power BI has linked it up. Now you can see that many to many sign, many to many, right? So, but in my own case, when I have this kind of problem, how do I solve it? I'll go and create a unique table, one different table. And that table that maybe I want to link by location, just the way I did now. And it's many to many. And I don't want to work with many to many. What I get, I'll go and create a different table. So that my different table, I'm going to put unique value of that country. So if there is Nigeria, Nigeria will be one in my table. If there's London, London will be one in my table. So that when I import that particular table, these two will now go and connect to that one. What you will now be seeing is one to many, one to many. You see, Power BI will even detect that one itself because Power BI supports one-to-one, Power BI supports one to many, Power BI supports many to one, but it doesn't support many to many. And right now, our table is many to many, but we're going to work with it. But I just want to explain some things to you. And that is what happens in relationship. Now, so the main core thing, so this is your data, this is your visualization. So this is the base visualization you see when you come to Power BI. So this is a pie chart. If I click now, pie chart comes out. From here, you can put in your data, or you can even change, if I want to change this visual, all I need to is highlight it, come here and change it to what you want. So now this one is a bar chart. So maybe my axis is my location. My data is, let's say, is population. Total population is my value. So let's say my legend is by year or, anything. Okay, age group is my legend, right? So age group is my legend. So, this is, okay, so because it's too much, right? So there are so many visuals. If you want to get more visuals, you need to be connected, you need to register. So if I want to get more visuals, I will go to this place, get more visuals. So it's going to open up. So we'll see, you can see now. So this is Power BI visuals. This is Power BI visuals. Okay, so it's loading up, But when you come to this place, you'll be able to see other visuals. You'll be able to see some is loading due to low internet or slow internet is wasting time. We don't have time. So I quickly want to talk about DAX. So what are DAX? DAX are languages. So we are all programmers. We write Python, we write. So the DAX are kind of expression. They're not language, they're expression you write. They're expressions you write. Now, okay, somebody that asks a slicer. Now we are in visuals. This is a slicer. If I bring up a slicer now, this is my slicer here. I brought it up. So I'm going to put year. I believe we have my data. I believe we have year. Okay, is it time? Sorry, I want to check. We have year somewhere. Okay, so it's time. Yeah, so this time, I will now go and pop it up here. Put it in as my slicer. You can see now. So I want this slicer I can change the orientation of this slicer. If I come to this format here, so from this format, you can format your visuals. Guys, go back and check it out. It's very, very easy. You can format your visuals. So for this one, so what do I need to do? So this is my slicer. I go to general. I want to change the, okay. So, oh, okay, I'm going to change the data type of this time. So normally your slicer, you can see is a whole number. So let's change it to a text. When you are, please make your slicer as text. Yes, make your, anything you want to use as a slicer, make it a text. You can see now. Let me move this graph. So if for someone that's asking what is a slicer? This is a slicer. So which means if I click on 1963, my visuals will filter based on 1963, 1971. This is a slicer. Now, so let's talk about DAX. DAX are used to add more value to our data or do more analysis. Most of the time, I do extra calculations with DAX. And I use my data to build a dynamic title. So in a case now, I want anytime I click on 1955, I want this title to tell me population, or I want this title to tell me population of 1954. If I click on 1961, I want this title to change and tell me population of 1961. That is where DAX comes in. You can't do that manually. You have to write DAX for it. Now, how do you create a DAX? You create it using, that's where this measure comes in. I thought we were going to talk about new measure. That's where new measure comes in. So now, for me to create such DAX for a title, I'll come to my table, click on these 3 ellipses here. If I click on it, I click new measure. You can see it will come up. Give it a name, title. I'll now say equal to. You now say if, for example, now I want to do, and one good thing about the DAX is anything you type is going to bring a pop-up for you. You can see now I typed if, right? It brought out if for me. And even tell you what that if is used for and how you can use it. It's easy. Now it said if selected, if, right? Or just let me not even go to if. Let me just do the normal one. I say, okay, I want my title to be just the way in Python, when you want to write string, you do it in quotes, the same way here. So I want write population, right? So I start with a quote. I'm going to go and close that quote. You can see now it has seen it as a text. Population, do population, and then and, right? And so this is and. So add this. What am I adding? Selected value. You say selected value. You see? Selected value from what? That means do population. Okay, let me say population of, let me do it like this. Population of selected value. Where is that selected value from? From my slicer. What is the name of my slicer? So if we click here, let me, so that I want this to come up. Selected value, column name. So what is the column name? Population, you can see it will bring out that table name for you. So our slicer is coming from population country 1950. You see, it's coming from population country 1950. What is the time? So this is the column we are working on. That is where this slicer is, right? So selected value, this, right? Else, just tell me population. If nothing is selected, my title should just be population. In quotation too, guys, don't forget it. Sorry, so in quotation, and then close it up, close your bracket and apply your title. So now we have a title. So what you will do is now come to this graph, click on the graph. Click on the graph. Please, if you are still following, be typing yes. So yes, 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 yes. So yes, 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 yes. No, you will get the, okay. All right, so for me to add this title I've created, I'll come to that graph. I want that title to be affected. I will now go to format. You can see title here. click the title drop down, title, come to this FX, click on this FX, it means functional, that's your functional title. You come here, search for that, so the name is title, right? You see it, you click on it, and you okay it. You can see population of 1961, population of I've clicked 1967, population of 1967. If I do not click anything, it's going to tell me population, okay, population of population. It's telling me population of because I've started with population and I'm ending. So if I can edit this by saying, okay, nothing, just remove this one. If nothing is selected, just nothing. Yeah, I go and apply it again. Just so once it is going to just take effect, you can see population of, so it's picking up this first one. It's picking up this first one. So yeah. Yeah, okay. So guys, just Power BI is very fun. Yeah, Power BI is very, very fun. Just go back, download it. We don't have, our time is up. Go back, download it, try it out, try it, everything out, try it out. You will get it. So thank you, thank you. So somebody raised his hand, Joshua. Yeah. So Joshua, can you drop your question? What do you want? Yes, we can do a heat map. Can we do a heat map? Yes, we can do a heat map. So you have to go and import it from visuals. Yes, there is a heat map. You have to go and import it from these more visuals. So, but yeah, of course, it's done. You can, if you go to this import here, if you get more visuals, you will see so many heat map that you can use. Even this one too, you can even use this particular one to do a heat map. You can use this particular one to do a heat map. Yeah. So, sorry.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much. I believe that we all had a very, very interesting session right there. Awesome. So right now, I will go straight into the quiz, just very quick. Just a very quick one. Quiz time. So this is fastest finger. Remember, during the opening event, we mentioned that during every session, there will be quiz time.
Hello, everyone. The audio will come back up. Keep sharing your reviews in the chat window. I've seen interesting reviews. And we are happy you're having a great time. So Leko will come back on soon. Thank you. Okay, Leko is coming back online. It's true, research people talk about our class now. We had a great time. Yes, Francis, the bootcamp is designed to be on fire. We are happy with this feedback. We are happy that, yes, thank you, research people. Thank you, research people are responding. Thank you. Okay, I don't know where Lekon is. Lekon will share his screen again, but please share your reviews about the class, share it in the chat window, share experiences. It's why we are here. It's why we are here. Okay, I'm admitting more people, and Lekon will come back online and project the screen. Researchers, please make noise. So make noise about our class. I can see the chat window. I can see the chat window. I'm excited about this. The team, we've been thinking of how to deliver the best of experiences just because we are not meeting in person. Thank you, team. Thank you for paying attention. And you know, this is only the beginning. We have 4 more days. We have a session at 5. We are supposed to have quizzes now. Stay online. There's still quiz, and just stay online and have a great time. This is what we do best at DSN, to deliver great learning experiences. We are happy you're having a great time. Okay, Leko, are you back online? Can you share your screen? I can see you. Okay. Yes, 50,000 years with money. Yeah, so our expectation is that, okay, Lekon is back online.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Please go ahead. I was just saying that I think we should start the quiz competitions from tomorrow.
Okay, you know? So do we bring this to an end? People have shared great review about the 3 of our session. I was telling them how excited we are about this, and this is only the beginning of what is to come. Lekon, I think you should tell them more about that.
Correct.
As we round up this for the next session.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much, Ura. I mean, that's what it is. It's just the beginning. This is a taste of, you know, the next 5 days of this event. So guys, we're all excited. So let's stay glued together. Make sure you tweet about it, retweet DSN's post. And of course, I tell you, it's going to be awesome. Okay, guys, it's been a wonderful session with you. So let's just all take a short break. If you're in Lagos State, please stay safe. Currently, there's a curfew, so you're not allowed to go out. So just stay indoors. I mean, we are all connected here. Currently, over 240 persons connected. So this is a community already, and we are all excited. So guys, by 5 o'clock, we'll come back again for the session with Professor Kirk. So check your email. If you've registered for that webinar, that will be a webinar, not a meeting. So check your email, and then we can have a wonderful time together. Thank you, everyone. Cheers. We'll see you again by 5 o'clock. Bye.
Bye. See you at 5.